Good morning, Qigong. Fidel, are you in or out? Are you in or are you out? Right, let me just put the lights on. Good morning. Do we need any more light? Do we need any more light? Yeah, I'm going to whack the other ones on. Good morning. Rise and shine. It's Wednesday, I think. Yes, it is. I got the date wrong. Right, Fidel, I've got shut doors. So come on in, you come. Come and do the Qigong class with your ladies. Hello, everyone, says Fidel. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Morning, everybody. Oh, the names are doing weird things this morning. What's that all about? Oh no, that's even weirder. Okay, hello, Instagram. You're doing something strange. Hello. Good morning. Happy Wednesdays, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Fidel and I say happy Wednesday, don't we, Fidel? He's been very good. He hasn't had his breakfast yet. He'll be chomping at the bit in 45 minutes. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Right, here we are. Today, Wednesday. What are we doing today? Today, we are going to do our lovely class. Welcome to anyone new. Welcome, regulars. Lots of new people in our gang over the last few days, thanks largely to Trinny, and then some very nice influencers who put some posts up as well. Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. So just to recap, this class is your daily exercises here to give you really strong energy for the day ahead. Qigong, life force practice. So if you're feeling a bit drab and you can't get yourself out of bed and you're exhausted and you don't feel great and you don't have enough oomph to get you through the day, or you don't even have enough oomph to get out of bed, that's all fine. You are in the right place because this is the class for you. You can do it in bed, you can do it sat down, you can do it standing up. All you do is join the gang, listen to my words, do the breathing exercises, laugh, have 45 minutes of fun, largely at my expense, but that's okay. Really twist if you can in this. Just really twist, just whilst we're just starting the class. Just get that spine warmed up. And the idea of this class is to strengthen and create energy in the body, all right? And the Chinese theory is if you have good energy, you are less likely to be sick. They say you're not going to be sick. Jules won't let me say that, so I have to caveat it and say less likely to be sick. Your low-level signs and symptoms start to kind of ease off, and it just gives you an easier a way to navigate more serious signs and symptoms. But whatever happens, strong chi in the body means you're going to feel better. So it's in our interest to generate it on a daily basis, which we do by doing these exercises. And then if you're interested in more, there's loads more over on Hey You Fit, where you can take this a whole load further with 3 further programs of 12 rivers, heaven and earth, and now the animals, which of course everyone knows that's familiar with me that I'm banging on about every single day because they are amazing. Anyway, there we are. So that's the idea of the class. At the beginning of the class, we're going to purge out anything which we don't need because we need to make some space. Then we're going to bring in the laughter and the healing sounds so that we can create really lovely, strong, high vibrational energy, and then we move it around the body. And you will end this class feeling relaxed yet energized, ready for the day ahead, and you will start to notice in no time at all that your wobbly bits will start to improve and your signs and symptoms will start to improve. And that's how it works. And for any of you that are counting calories, you know I don't do that. It's not calories in versus calories out. But you do shed loads of calories doing Qigong as well. Even though you're not running like a lunatic on a treadmill or doing something crazy that's going to hurt your joints or make you ache and feel exhausted afterwards, you still get there because the heart rate goes up, but the breath stays slow, okay? And that's how it works. So it does work brilliantly well. It just ticks every single box. I love it. Right, without further ado, let's start shaking. If you can shake vigorously, okay? Like this, you could go raw. Okay, if you can't shake vigorously, that's okay. Can you do this? Okay, can you do this? This is fine. Try if you're doing this to get the feeling in your middle. I want your middles feeling like an S shape, okay? It all happens here. Everything in the body comes from this bit here, okay? So this is why when we're doing Qigong, we work on that area so much because we're stimulating the organs. Right, just have a nice... Catherine, perhaps you could just put the Hey You Fit tag up there for anybody that's on this feed that's never heard of it. You never know. And you can now book Aaron's Animal Flow. There's one on Saturday actually, and then it starts properly on the weekdays on Monday at 11 o'clock. We will add more times as we go forwards, but remember, you guys are all the super early adopters, you know all about it. Most of the world is totally blind to the miracle that is Qigong. So we're just getting the instructors ready, we're just getting the program sorted. In a few more weeks there'll be more class dates, but for now it's hour at 11 with me. I'll be there, animaling away, right? And it's really working, by the way, folks. Hopefully you can see, right? So just give yourself a nice vibration. Shake, 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 shake. Shake, 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 shake. There. Just allow everything to start wriggling around. There. Now, take a loosely clenched fist, like this. If you have your tapper, use your tapper. Let's just start this area here. This is called the dantian. This is the lower energetic centre of the body. And it's where all the energy is made. It's like a cauldron. The cinnabar, they call it. What a lovely old-fashioned word, the cinnabar. Right, and we just want to start drumming because drumming kind of emphasises the shaking. It's just what we're doing is we're purging. We're getting things out of their stored patterns. We spend a lot of time sitting down like this. We need to stand up and we need to get that abdomen moving. Nice big out breaths whilst we're at it, okay? You can really dislodge a lot just using your fists and your hand and using the breath. I call this the tiger breath. Breathe in. Okay, clawed hands, shoulders back, body arch. And it really spews it out the body, okay? Because that's what we're after. We want things out. Anything that doesn't serve us, we want out. It's going to take me to my topic of today. Topic of the day, I've decided. Do email in though. Catherine, do get other people's, what everyone else wants as well. Oh, the joy of having my own feed. The topic I've decided for today is how to be happy. I thought, what a topic. I thought, you know what, I was thinking about it last night. When I'm in clinic and people tell me their innermost things, and by the way, it all gets locked away and then I will forget all about it. But at the time when we're working on it, one of the things that comes up all the time is how to navigate our lives, okay? How to deal with the pain and the suffering that comes into all of our lives. And I just want to comfort anyone right now that's hurting, that's at any level at all uncomfortable with their bodies, with their spirit, with their emotions, with any level of pain whatsoever. If that's you, if I'm talking to you, which I probably am, okay, the first thing to say to you is that everybody suffers. Everybody, okay? No one gets away with it. I'm just going to move to a tapper whilst I'm talking about this. Just use your tapper, use your loosely clenched fist. If you don't have a tapper, go down the outside of the legs like this and up the inside. And then other than that, just tap away, okay, as I'm doing it. So the thing is, no one gets away with it. I mean, I've been doing charts for so long. I've been doing every walk of life with my charts. I've done from the super rich, the super famous, all the way down to the pro bonos where I don't charge. And I do everything in between, okay? And I have done. And largely my own life has been a reflection of that too. I've had a very varied life, which one day I'll talk about. But I have very much suffered during the course of my life. I've had deep health problems, all sorts of issues going on. We're not going into that, but the point is that from which I created this brand and from which I created a large dose of compassion, because I can understand what people are going through, because I've largely been through many things myself. And the point to say to this is that no one gets away without suffering at some point, because suffering, if you manage it correctly, enables the soul to develop according to Chinese medicine or Chinese masters. Okay, what they're saying is if you can transcend that pain and alchemize it into something positive, then the soul strengthens and develops. And according to the Taoist masters, that is kind of the name of the game. Now, obviously, I'm not here to preach religion. It's not a religion, it's a philosophy. But the concept of happiness very much ties into that, because it's something that we're quite obsessed with in the West. And if you think about it, a lot of the problems that we have in the West are because we're trying to be happy. A lot of the damage to the environment is because we're buying things to make us feel happy that we probably don't need, lots of which are in plastic, which then we realise don't make us happy, and then we chuck them away a bit later, and then they go into landfills and go into the sea. So we're actually kind of polluting ourselves with our strive to be happy. And yet it's not necessarily achieving the desired effects, because when I then see people in clinic at the other end, they're not happy. They're not happy at all. So what do we do about this is the question for today, which I'm going to talk about, because it ties in very nicely to the work that we do with the organs. It does. So the first thing to say to you is do Qigong and do the healing sounds and alchemize the negative emotions, which we do every single day. Okay, well, I'm not going to explain that again because most of you know all that already. What else? What else do we do when things are really bad? That's the question for today, and that is the question that I'm going to proceed to answer because I have some good advice on that. The first thing to say about negative and positive emotions. Being happy is a positive emotion. Being unhappy is a negative emotion, and the human body will always have both. That's called yin and yang. But the way to manage... Oh, sorry, it's a little burp. That's good. Burping's good, folks. That was obviously just something that's moving in my lower jaw, just there, which is fantastic. There, just happened again. Crying, laughing, burping, farting, all part of the benefits of the morning class. You don't have to linger on your abdomen like me. If you just keep going, guys, with the tap, it's just something dislodging there. Interesting. The point is that happiness is a positive charge on the body, okay? And the way to start to navigate it is what I call happiness SOS, okay? And what you do with that is you make a list, first of all, of every single thing that makes you happy. Okay, so Catherine, could you just make a note of this, or Ruby? We're going to put this up today. Happiness SOS. What do you do? Your checklist to happiness. That's what I want, Ruby. A checklist to happiness. And we're going to put it up on the story sheet. The first, numero uno of the checklist of happiness is do the healing sounds. Okay, that's number one. Right, number two, numero dos. Number two is you need to write a list. Just be very kind of planning about it. Don't start getting emotionally attached to it. Just get a piece of paper, get your healing journal, and write a list of every single thing that you love. So you call it the I love list, okay? So I would call it the Katie love list, and Catherine would call it the Catherine loves list. So you will call it the your self loves list, right? And on that note, let's go into the healing sounds, and I will pick this feed up again in a minute. Okay, so let's just go into... Actually, sorry, we haven't done enough. Yes, no, I'll do the healing breaths with this. Right, so let's go into our bom, 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 oh, 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 go to the lungs. Let's get rid of stark patterns of behaviour, and we're going to go into the S sound and really get your intention in place. Remember, knowledge, intention, amplification. So the more you exaggerate this, the better it's going to be. Get your head in the game. We are getting rid of any kind of stuck patterns of behaviour in our lungs, and we're going to go for it. And I don't care if I'm singing in a plain chant, because it will help you concentrate. So ready and power through. Breathe in. Sing it out of the body. Now breathe in. Do your tiger breath. Breathe in. I want crazy cat with the tiger breath. Good morning, Jasmine. How's the baby? Right. I want crazy cat. Okay. When you're doing that, you're like this. Eyes, okay, the liver opens to the eyes, okay, claws in the hands. The minute you claw the hand, the body can stiffen, okay, which is because we want to tighten, and then you can relax. The more you go like this, the more relaxed the body can feel afterwards, and spew that breath out, okay? Ruby, spew that breath out. I want that out, and I want it out with your intention. You know what you're doing now. We're creating space. So let's really go for it, right? Let's go to the heart, since we're talking about happiness today. So we're going to get rid of the anxiety so we can make room for the happiness. So let's go back into the heart. Really get your head in the game. Think about stuff you want to get rid of. Breathe in. Go for it. Really think it out of your body. Get rid of it. Go away, go away. Breathe in. Tiger. Be aggressive. in your tiger. Be aggressive with these negative emotions. Get rid of them. Get rid. Blah, 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 blah. We don't want them. Blah, 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 blah. Get rid. Right, back to the singing because it's quite funny. Breathe in. Let's go to the spleen. The spleen is when you worry about things. It means there's an imbalance in the spleen. It's also about trust and integrity. So when people have broken your trust, it affects your spleen and that makes you unhappy. So we're going to get rid of all of that negativity so we can create lots of space for you to retrust and have integrity with everything you do. So get your head in the game, think about your worries, amplify, knowledge is power. Now we're going to get rid of it. Breathe in. Breathe in. Tiger. Okay. Now go to your liver. This is about anger and frustration and resentment and all the things that really piss you off in your day. And that happens quite a lot to most of us. So we have to let go of it because the liver is a really aggressive organ and it creates lots of heat in the body. And most of your symptoms come from heat. So we have to get rid of it or we will be suffering later. So get your head in the game. Think about all the things that annoy you and we're going to sing them out and laugh about them in a minute. Breathe in. Breathe in, tiger, big time, because tiger's the wood, which is the liver. Breathe in. Do it twice because we're on the liver. Breathe in. Oh, this is hilarious. I'm really enjoying talking like this. Right, go to the kidneys. This is about fear. Anything that's frightened you in life or anything that stops you moving forwards because you feel slightly paralyzed, that's the kidneys. And we can transcend that with wisdom. It's all okay. So we've got to get rid of those negative vibes because we don't need them in the body. So sing along with me. Breathe in. Let it literally resonate throughout the whole body. Do it again. It's so good. Breathe in. Breathe in, tiger. Let go. And now finally we go back to our hearts. Now go to the other side of the fire, which is the he sound. Still let go of anxiety, but this time it's more about the circulation of the blood and the movement of the emotions around the body rather than the cardiovascular system pumped by the heart. So we go to another sound. Ready, breathe in. Breathe in. Okay, after that, come on, it's really easy to go into laughter. Kelly, are you ready with your stopwatch? Come on, you can just laugh at that ridiculous singing that I've just done. But you know what? Somehow that felt really good. So, ready with the laughter. Let's go in. We've created lots of gorgeous vibration this morning. That healing power going all the way through down the tube. So, breathe in. We're going to start laughing. Hopefully, Kelly, I know you're there. Breathe in. There's Kelly. Right, ready with the stopwatch. Sing along with Katie, folks. Come on, it's a bit like a sing along with the Sound of Music. Ah, Katie the Skin Whisperer's here. Snoopy, that will really work for you. Catherine, can you put Katie the Skin Whisperer's tab up, please? If anyone's never heard of Katie the Skin Whisperer, then where have you been for the last 6 months? She is the best therapist in the country, in my humble opinion, certainly with the crystals. Actually, that's not fair on other therapists, so certainly with the crystals, Katie is literally amazing. And she teaches over on the Hey You method, and it's amazing. So do book in classes with her because she's had incredible results, and it gives you the ability to get the most out of your crystals. And therefore you never need to go and buy a load of rubbish ever again because you simply don't need it. Thank you for saying she's amazing. Anybody that's seen Katie Blake, please send some hearts, and I'm going to go back to laughing. Kelly, you might have to add some extra seconds onto this. It's getting addictive talking like that. It's gonna be ridiculous, right? Use your tap on your abdomen if you want when you're doing this. Sorry, I literally want to start singing again. It's like, it's real. I want to sing all the time this morning. I have no idea why. But yet somehow it's feeling absolutely fantastic on my body. And then I'm drumming here and burping. I don't know what's going on. Who cares? Thank God Jules is not here. She'd be going, oh my God, what's she up to now? There we go, Kelly. Thank you so much. Right, now, what we have just done in that crazy 5 minutes is I was singing to you for a reason. We were clearing the vibrational charge in the body. We were getting rid of the negative vibrations in the body, the negative emotions, creating a space which we then filled with laughter, which basically amplifies everything a huge amount and also allows the immune system to function at a higher level for 24 hours. Morning, Forage Somerset. There's another one. Can we add Forage Somerset, please, Catherine? She's another friend of mine locally down here, does amazing stuff on her Instagram. Do please follow her as well. I'm all about women supporting women here. By the way, anyone watching this feed and you want me to support you in any way or shape or form, please just send in your message. If it's a small business, you want to attract customers, you've got products, don't send me products, please. I don't want to receive anything. I just want to help people, okay? If you send me products, I'm going to give them away to the Qigong. So do send me products, then I'll give them away to this community. The community's going, yes, send her. What I do want to do, though, is put you on the platform. So just like Trini helps me, I want to help you. So do please email in to Catherine and Nina, and we will support you as every single possible which way we can. So as will Katie, I know, because she's also one of the good guys out there. We will all help, as will Nicola. So, right, we have now created a massively positive charge in this body, stuffed full of endorphins, and now we need to go back to the healing sounds, and we're going to go still back to our singing, but this time we're going to be a little bit more fairy-like and a little bit less silly, because we're now going to the high virtues. And when talking about happiness and how to be happy, I've said numero uno, the numero uno is doing Qigong, so not numero dos, so the number 1 is doing Qigong, the number 3 will be writing your list, but number 2, okay, is staying high in the soul. It allows you to be more kind of up here than kind of down here. The minute you're down here, you're getting pulled away by the human emotions of fear and anger and frustration and resentment and worry, and it brings the energy down. If you can stay up in your higher self and navigate from this place, you're already halfway there, and then I'll get to the list afterwards. So in the first instance, we go to the lungs. This is all about gratitude. So first of all, on your list of happiness, Ruby Catherine, please, could you write a note of this? Gratitude. We need to be grateful all day long, okay? That's why people used to say grace. That's why people used to go to temples. That's why we say thank you to people. It's actually it's called living in a state of grace, okay? And it makes you happy. Make yourself grateful for absolutely everything. And I know it sounds a bit kind of, women's magazine-y, kind of, oh, try and be grateful for everything in your life. Like, oh, fuck off, I'm really unhappy. It's like, no, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is just actively be grateful for the food, be grateful for your cup of tea, be grateful for your slice of toast, be grateful for your duvet, be grateful for a glass of water when you're thirsty, or a toilet when you need the loo. I mean, literally, be grateful that it's not raining and you don't have an umbrella, and you need to literally start amplifying the gratitude, okay? So you write it down. That's what we start with, the gratitude, and then we go into more lists, okay? So you have to be grateful because it helps keep your spirit up. It's not preachy, it's beneficial, okay? It's not preachy, it's beneficial. Ruby, that was a good quote for the day, please. Breathe in. So we go back to our healing sounds, and I'm going to sing to you again because I feel like it, if that's okay. Breathe in. Smile. Feel the resonance in the lungs. Think gratitude. Make a conscious effort to be grateful all day for absolutely everything. It'll drive you nuts, but it will really help. Breathe in. Go to your heart now. This is about the list of things that you love. This was which I said was number 2, but actually it's about number 4 on the list. Catherine, if you can keep up with my thought process. Live TV, folks. I'm making it up as I go along. Right. Well, I'm not making it up. I'm just like delivering it as I go along. Right. This is about the things that you love. Once you've written all the things you're grateful for, write down every single thing that you love, okay? Everything. I love my daughter's ex-bedroom. I love talking about Chinese medicine. I love drinking red wine in the winter. I love foraging for berries in my back garden. I love being with my kids, not when they're squabbling though, but I like it when they're being nice and watching telly. I love lying in my bed at night before I go to sleep. I love waking up to a cold room and then doing Qigong. Like literally every little, I love Mira's chai. I love my coffee frother thing that I bought to make the milky bit for the chai. Now it's become a whole great thing. I love the mug that I drink it out of. These is the level of detail you have to go to. You've got to get that list going, okay? And I'll tell you why in a second. Let's go to the singing. Breathe in. Now we've thought of all the things we love. Breathe in. Allow that smile all the way into the body. Smile. Think of all the things that you love. If you want, we can go up a bit. And of course we could go all the way to the and the hee. Why do you think laughter was described as such? Because it was the healing sound to the heart and it makes your heart happy. Okay, let's go to, where are we? The spleen. This is all about integrity and trust, okay? So that's about having trust in people and trust in yourself. So breathe in. Breathe into the liver. This is now about compassion, kindness, benevolence. This needs a list. All of the charities that you would like to support, all of the things that upset you that you would like to change, and write them down. And you know what? Start sending them in, because we as a community now are going to start doing our bit to change them, because I for one have had enough. So now we've got a little bit of a platform on the go, we can start making some profound changes to things. So please write down the things that annoy you in the world today. What do you want to change? What upsets your liver? Write it down, and we're going to set as a community, we're going to start setting some benchmarks to how we're going to actually start addressing these things, because I'm fed up with it. I'm sick of seeing things chucked in the sea and animals being cruelly treated and environments disappearing for the super rich to then piss off on super yachts. It's annoying the hell out of me. So I'm going to do something about it. So if you'd like to join me, do write in. In the meantime, write it down. Breathe in. I love Hey You Too. Breathe in. When I meant write down the things that annoy you, could you actually write them in on emails to Catherine, because she can then collate them. If it comes in on the feed, we'll never remember it all. Do email Catherine, okay? She's in charge of all this now, so there's nothing she likes more than everyone emailing in. Do you, Catherine? Right. Breathe in. Go to the kidneys. This is all about wisdom. Let's do it. Right back to the heart. Breathe in. Right. We're all brilliant. Just tap your head for a minute. This is all about galvanizing this power, okay? We've got 26,000 people in this feed. Now, that is a lot of people, which are largely women. It's about 95% female. Men, you are absolutely welcome too. But basically, let's just get it written down. Send it to Catherine. Let's find out. Catherine, can you feed back to me in a couple of days? What does everyone want us to do something about? And we're going to start doing something. Haven't quite decided what, but we're going to do something, okay? We're creating the charity aspect of the brand right now anyway. So I want to know what you care about, because I can heal your liver by creating a charitable enterprise at the same time. So we're going to do it. Right, now I have talked so much today. Right, let's get into what are we doing now. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh yes, right. Right, turning at the waist, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get back to our happiness. Breathe in. Right, I don't know why I'm into singing in plain chant today, but anyway, actually you don't have to have your legs together. You can just, allow your body to stretch. Oh my goodness, it's so good. If any of you are feeling that these exercises are starting to just become relatively straightforward, I cannot stress enough, please try Aaron's Animal Flow. Just give it a one-off. Try it. I've been doing it every day this week. I did the lessons last week. I did the flow on Saturday, and I've done Monday, Tuesday this week. Ready for lesson 3 today. It's absolutely finally doing what I knew it would do, which is it's getting my body back to where it was before I had kids, when it went into rack and ruin. And no matter what I did, I could not sort it out. And I was saving this to do it with you guys, because I wanted to create something that I knew would work, that I could genuinely stand and go, right, this is the dynamic end of Qigong. And it is. I knew Aaron was going to be able to deliver this class, and he is, and it's brilliant. Ideally, you do the lessons before you start, but you don't have to. You can dive straight in. I deliberately left half of the lessons so I could see what it was like doing both, and it was fine. As long as you're someone who's kind of used to exercise and you feel fairly competent with kind of, going to the gym or doing a spinning class or picking up a yoga thing or doing a bar, you can go straight into the class and you'll be fine. And if you're not used to that, you'll still be okay. It might just take a couple of lessons to get the hang of it, but it's so worth it. You will thank me. You will thank me. I promise. Right, so the object of this now, we're in the nourishing end of the class, which was making the energy sounds. And now the job is to move it around the body. So that you're getting that energy into every muscle of the body, that you're allowing the muscles to open. Other way. Getting that lovely, rich, oxygenated blood moving around the body. The chi, because it's so insubstantial, it will find its way into even the darkest crevices of pain and stagnation and start to open things up with these stretches and moves. And that's why you start to feel energized. Always breathe down into that lower abdomen. Down in the lower jaw. That's the breath. The Mona Lisa smile. Keep that smile. So, how to be happy? Number 1, do Qigong. Number 2, do the healing sounds and do the alchemizing exercises so that you're actively turning a negative to a positive. Okay? That's the trick. Then, write a gratitude list. Everything in your life that you're grateful for. Every single little thing. The longer the list, the better. It's a very powerful exercise because it makes you strong, because you suddenly appreciate all the things that you're grateful for. It can be so, and go to the detail, okay? If you're sitting here, I'm not grateful for anything, I hate everything. Just, you're going to have to think small, okay? Now, the reason I know all this, by the way, folks, I was going to say to you, is that I have been through, basically, some very tricky moments in my life, like everybody else. And when I had a breakdown before I created this brand. And funnily enough, I created this brand out of my breakthrough. So it was one giant alchemizing process. And it was a particularly horrendous moment in my life that went on for about probably a year and a half. But after about 2 months from the beginning of it, which was the absolute hellsville, I started to discover Chinese medicine and was starting to read these amazing books, which now I absolutely go on about all the time, as you know, which is probably why I'm a bit of a fountain of knowledge, because at the time I was so wretched that the only thing that made me feel less wretched was studying this, okay? It didn't make me feel good. It made me feel less bad. That was how bad things were. And this was literally kind of, crying myself all through the night, couldn't sleep, couldn't function, all the rest of it. And so basically, I just clung to these books and clung to this knowledge like a life raft. That's how it felt. And if I'm talking to you or describing, so I've just turned the other way, I forgot to say, if that resonates with you and you think that's how I feel so wretched, nothing makes me feel happy, then you have to start with feeling less bad. Because feeling less bad is better than feeling how bad you were feeling before. That's what I found. And so for me, reading this literature and just discovering this was just like, it was the antidote to my pain, from which this little grass shoot started to appear out of the gravel of my wretchedness. And I suddenly was sitting there reading this stuff thinking, oh God, like, how does nobody know this? Well, where is this information? Why do we not know this stuff? How come I never learnt this at school? What on earth's going on? And it was so fantastic that I thought, right, you know what? I'm going to write a book, because I thought, this is fine. I can understand this information because I'm qualified. I'm a Chinese doctor, so I know what they're talking about, right? Let's do lifting the sky. I'm just going to talk. So just to say, hands up, breathe in, hands down, breathe out. Okay, because I need to talk to you and tell you this, right? So breathe in. So I understood it because I was trained in Chinese medicine, so I knew what they were talking about when they would talk about kidney shu and liver yang rising and heart shu and, oh my goodness me, and blood deficiency and damp spleens and all this stuff. And like, to the average person, you're thinking, what on earth are they talking about? What does that mean? And what's the spleen got to do with anything? So I thought, what's missing here is a really simple introductory book, which is for a normal person that doesn't know any of this stuff. They need to read that before they can understand this. So that's what I then set about doing. So that then became my creative process, from which came out the book, Yang Sheng, which hopefully most of you have read or bought, the fact sheets, which hopefully lots of you have downloaded, and of course the brands, Hey You and now Hey You Fit. And of course, my deep, deep friendship with Katy, the Skin Whisperer, absolutely incredible right-hand woman who's just basically held me throughout all of that misery. And between us, working with the crystals and working out the facials and all this amazing stuff that no one knew anything about, which largely lots of people copy her. So at the end of the day, she was the first person because she worked alongside me. Hence why she's so brilliant. Her classes give you way and above information about what you can do with these crystals to make your skin beautiful, way more than anybody else that's jumping on the bandwagon going, I know it as well, because they only would have learned what somebody had been taught from Katy in the first place. But so the point is that where I'm going with this is that I created something out of my misery, okay? And as a result, I made myself happy. But it didn't happen overnight, right? Go the other way. What happened was, at the beginning, it was just a less wretched feeling, okay? But I just focused on it. And this is where the amplification comes in. I just stuck to it like a life raft, okay? I just clung on to this thing that made me feel less bad. And it helped. It didn't solve. It wasn't an instant fix. It wasn't like, oh great, I've now discovered self-care and Chinese medicine, I'm going to create a business out of it. No, not at all. I didn't have the money to do that. It was just me just kind of thinking, okay, hang on, there's something here. I can't leave it alone. So what I suggest you do is, when you write your gratitude list, find every little thing that makes you happy. You know, is it reading a particular author? Is it a particular type of coffee that you buy in the supermarket? Like, engage with the things that you're consuming and putting in your body. Amplify them. So make your morning coffee a real treat. Like, my morning cup of tea is a real treat, which is why I put that post up about how to make really good tea. So going to see my pigs and feeding them, walking my dog. These are things that we do that make us sort of grateful, okay? And then in comes the happiness, okay? So up we go. Now, tiger claw on this. Really, now claw your feet as well. Grab the ground with your toes. If you can go on your toes, do. If you can't, that's okay. Grab them anyway. Focus this exercise. Tighten every single muscle, okay? So when you're into the happiness list, this is when you write down every single thing that makes you happy. Everything, okay? Every single thing. When I was in the middle of my abject misery, now really relax. You'll notice that exercise, when you really tighten, you can really relax. This is a really good thing to do at the end of the day, okay? When you finish work and you're like, oh, kind of wired but tired, okay? Now you can just kind of, this feeling, so go back up again, breathe in, So the happiness list, every single thing that you're happy, that makes you happy, down to every single detail, okay? And you cling to it. I call it happiness SOS, okay? And up and relax. There, right. Let's go to our swinging dragons, otherwise I'm going to overrun the class ever so slightly. Sorry, folks. So it's swim your dragons. This is more the aerobic end of the class, okay? This is where you get that light beady sweat. The heart rate's up. Okay, this is when the body really starts to benefit. So that happiness SOS list, it's literally everything. And I used to carry it in my bag so that when the melancholy hit me, which it would do all the time at the beginning because my energy was so down, and you've got to feed it. You've got to feed it like crazy. It's like a baby, okay? Like how babies need a lot of attention until they get older and then they can manage themselves. It's the same thing with your emotions. If you're in a really bad place, you need a lot of TLC, okay? A lot. So that happiness list has got to be there. And the next thing to do, numero whatever we're on, Catherine, Ruby, I've now lost track, but say number 5, is you need a plan, okay? The liver likes a plan. And it's the liver that takes the energy downwards in the body, okay? That gloomy depression is the liver. And if you give it a plan, the livers like a plan, so immediately they're happier just by planning. So you've got to plan your happiness into your day. So what I then started to do was I'd start to fill my days with things that would make me happy. And if they didn't make me happy, I'd come up with a way to create happiness within them, okay? So if you hate your job, for example, I hate my job, so I don't want to do that. So it's like, okay, well, maybe we need to start thinking about a plan to change that and how we're going to step towards that. Or you like people at your office so that you make sure that every hour you've gone and spent 5 minutes with somebody who you like, and that you kind of, you focus on that, or that you make sure you take in really nice food that you eat at lunchtime, or again a good morning drink, or a nice fresh water that you drink, and then when you're doing it you're amplifying, so that you're making sure that your day is filled with things that fulfill your happiness, and that you're clinging on to them like branches on white water, okay? The plan will really help. And if you don't have a job that's causing the problem, you've got a lot of empty time on your hands, then you've got to put an agenda in place to fill that time. I did that with a friend this week, and I said, right, you get up at this time, and then from 9 to 11 you do this, and then from 11 till 12 you do this, and then this person's got disposable income, so book a treatment, have therapy in terms of i.e. massage, facials. And if you can't do that, if money's an object, then you come onto Instagram and you book in on all these free things like this that you can follow, or you volunteer if you've got time. It's about finding things and putting them into a diaried format into your body, so that when you start dipping and your mood goes down and you're like, oh God, I can't cope, oh, it's just crowding around me, and oh God, my life's just dragging out in front of me and I just don't even want to be here. And I know that feeling. You have to immediately put in the guardrail to your emotions, okay? And go, hang on, what am I supposed to be doing? Oh, hang on, I've got a Qigong class at 11. Oh, I like Qigong. And then immediately it's like, right, we can't fix the big picture, but for the next hour, you can fixate on the fact that you enjoy what it is that you're doing. You will immediately feel better, and these will be the grassroots to slowly but surely these things start to join together, and they create a day. And suddenly you'll get to the end of a day one day and think, wow, do you know what? I actually had a really nice time. And you take it one day at a time. You always go back to your plan. You go back to your happiness list. And on you go. Okay, so that's the really good thing to do. So have I covered everything? So great gratitude list, happiness list. You've got to amplify the things that you like. You've got to be really grateful and really happy with the things that you love. And there's always things. And if everything in your life sucks, everything, and I know that feeling because I was there too. If someone had told me this, I was like, oh, bugger off. Like you've got no idea how destroyed my soul is right now. You go into nature. You go into nature. That's what you do. Because half of the problems with society now is because we are so disassociated from nature and the natural world from which we are totally and utterly connected to. And yet most of us have completely forgotten that because of the way that we live. We're living in cities, in flats, towns, we're driving everywhere, we're not getting out into nature. So you need to get into nature, start observing things, okay? Birds, get a bird table. Just watch them. It will make you feel happy. You will feel connected to something. On that note, because that's probably the last thing I can talk about today on the happiness list, because that's actually probably enough. If anybody watched on Netflix, My Octopus Teacher, Catherine, can you write that down? Ruby, can we put that up today? My Octopus Teacher. The most beautiful thing I think I've watched on telly for ages, and there's seriously good telly out there at the moment. It's about this guy. I thought it was in Australia. My Mr. Brindle corrected me, and apparently it's in South Africa, so I got that completely wrong. But anyway, he had a breakdown and a life crisis, and just couldn't do his job anymore. He was a photographer and a film crew guy. Basically couldn't do it anymore. Had a bit of a moment and started swimming in this really cold water near where he grew up. And it was like 7 degrees, this water. And he started to do it because he found, like me, he felt less rubbish when he did it. So it became a thing that he started to do. And he did it because he found that it sort of supported him, okay? And then what happened was, where he was swimming, he started observing the natural world around him because he was in the sea. And it's these kelp forests. Absolutely beautiful, freezing cold water. These kelp forests that grow in the sand underneath. And he started looking at it. And lo and behold, as he started looking at it, he noticed this octopus. I mean, honestly, it's the most amazing story. And he started observing the octopus. And it turned into this incredible piece of TV, which please watch it, guys, because it will describe exactly what I'm trying to say to you. Yeah, he free dives. Oh, Jasmine, you've seen it. Isn't it brilliant? It's absolutely amazing. He doesn't have an oxygen tank on. He just holds his breath, gets used to the water, and then he starts observing this incredible female octopus. And I won't spoil the story, but it is the most exquisite piece of television. My husband, Mr. Brindle, was blubbing. I was crying. My kids were crying. It was stunning. But the point that, so just watch it just from that point of view about animal observation. But the point that he was saying was that he'd lost his sense of connection to the natural world, and he found himself by going back into the natural world. Jasmine does a lot of stuff from her allotment. She's in the natural world, cultivating your garden, trying to get an allotment or even a window box or some plants. It's about engaging with life, because when the soul feels dead and your emotional patterns have tanked, it's because there's a kind of despondency with the world around us, and it's so important to connect back to life, because it brings you back to life, okay? So that's probably, more than enough today. That's been a whopping great wang on. Anyway, lots of stuff for Catherine there, loads of notes. Catherine, if you could decipher the 45 minutes of me going through my checklist, which I'd not pre-done. Do please send me through what they were. Right, just use a tapper, guys. And we will put them up onto the story today about the checklist. Checklist to happiness. That's what today was all about. Do please, if nothing else, write your 2 lists. Make a plan to ensure that happiness features in your day. Even if it's a prep sandwich or a box of sushi for M&S. If that makes you happy, make sure that you're saying that to yourself and really amplifying the joy. The deeper connection to nature, if you can make it, and try and watch this programme if anyone's got time to watch it. It's so good. And please email Catherine in with any kind of things that annoy you about the world right now. What would you like to change? Let's make it positive. What do we want to change? And as a community, we're going to set about doing it. Jules had the brilliant idea yesterday about doing a sponsored laugh. I then had the idea 1 second later, so she's now taking the credit. Genuinely, I can't see the comments. I need to get my eyes tested, and I still haven't done it. All these comments are going to... Jasmine, I know you just said something, but my Instagram's doing something weird, and I can't see the comments very well. Anyway, so basically, that's what we're going to do, okay? So thank you all so much for joining. Sorry we overran ever so slightly. That was a massive great wang on by me today, but hopefully it's helpful. A lot of this stuff is in the book, by the way, folks. A lot of it. So the spirit and the emotional chapters cover a lot of this stuff. But any questions? I'm on a live feed this evening at 6 o'clock. Jasmine's doing her sound baths. Lots of stuff going over on Hey You Fit with Aaron's classes and Sandra doing breathwork courses and breathwork flows. And then, of course, we have the amazing Katy the Skin Whisperer over on Hey You doing amazing masterclasses. She's now just launched all the body ones. So if you want to know how to get the best out of your tapper, your body combing for cellulite, or your gua sha, for everything else going on in your body, then please book in with Katie. She's absolutely amazing. And I love her to death, and she's just the best therapist. I'd love everybody to have time with her because she's so good. Thank you all so much for joining me. I'm going to off to get one of your chais now, which is right at the top of my I love list, and her book, which I received yesterday. Thank you so much. I can't wait to get stuck into that. I'm going to London later today, so I will be looking at that later. Thank you, everybody. Loved the Qigong. Thank you, Catherine, as ever. And I will see you at 6 o'clock.